So I found a hidden spring. All right, let's go take a look.
A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video, but more on that later.
So this right here is the very first spring I ever developed on our mountain. And it turns out it's also the best spring. And right next to it, I don't know if you can see that, is a little trickle of water. And I think it's actually a pretty substantial spring. That's like all part of the very first spring I ever developed. And I missed like half the water. And I think it's worth developing. That's flowing directly next to that spring. So this is the first spring we ever developed. And then 7 feet away is a second section of that same spring that I missed.
You guys are taking care of our family water situation. This is a special job. This is bringing all the water to our house.
Look at all this water coming down, Max.
We've had so many amazing family memories at the spring, and the spring has served us so well. I can't even explain what it feels like when we drink our spring water, and the idea of getting spring water to our actual home so that all the water we bathe our children in, the water that we wash our face in, the water that we, every single thing, you know, clean our house. It's the spring water, honestly, is so potent, and it tastes so good, like so unique to our land. And it's just so special to think about Lou being able to funnel this water into our ram pump and then get it to our future house site. Ah, it feels really good to be back here. Just to see how sometimes these big projects, you know, Lou put that other spring in, and it's carried our family so well. We drink that spring water. Even when we're out living at the land, we bring it to my parents' house because it's just that good. The spring water just tastes and feels and serves our body too well to go back. So this is a big moment for our family. So to get the water dialed in the way that Lou is just such a gift for our family.
I feel like sometimes when people think of a spring, they think of like a hose underground, and if you can find exactly where that hose is, all of the water will be exactly right there where you want it. But I find it more useful to visualize like the skin of an onion, like that level of thickness flowing underground in a bunch of different places, and sometimes it concentrates and gets a little bit thicker, and sometimes it doesn't. I think technically that might be called a seep. I'm not really sure what the terminology is on all of this stuff. I just actually find the water, and so far I've developed quite a few springs, and yeah, it's kind of my favorite job on earth. So yeah, my plan is to take down this hillside another 4 feet or so, and then we'll be able to see all of the different places where the water's flowing. I know that some of these aren't going to be flowing in the drought, so what I'm thinking is for now, let's just at least see where the water is, and then we can make a decision on how we want to develop this going forward. We have plenty of drinking water right now, so we don't technically need this spring water yet. What we do need it for is to get a high enough flow rate to power a ram pump in the future. So, day 1 of digging is done. The water is coming from a pretty large area, which is not ideal, but there is a lot of water, which is really good. But I think this whole area actually has water, and it's not actually going to be possible to get it to all flow from one little spot. It kind of, the way it works is it goes through the rocks and then it hits this layer of really hard clay, and it can't flow through the clay. So whenever you find the line in the mountainside where the clay is, that's where the water's flowing. Let's come back tomorrow and see how this clears up. All right. Day 2 of digging. Forearms and shoulders are very sore, but no excuses. This is one of my favorite jobs on earth, developing springs. And this seems like a really good spring. Flow right now is very inflated because the snow is melting. So this is actually one of the worst times to be developing a spring. But I knew there was water here because I checked it in the drought. So yeah, don't develop a spring in the thaw season. I've learned that. All right, so this is where we're at. I got the water flowing down that way, and this seems to be a really good spot right here. It's directly next to the very first spring I ever developed, but sadly, there's also water coming from up here, and I'm working on this section over here. So we got water over there and water over there. And yeah, the reason this is such an important spring is because the very first spring I ever developed actually turns out to be the best spring on our mountain. And this spring didn't stop flowing during the last mini drought that we had. And I have a friend down the road who's a farmer, and he said his spring stopped flowing, and it was the first time I think in the last 100 years that spring stopped flowing, and this spring didn't stop. So that makes me think that this is a very, very, very good water source for us long term. So my plan right now is to take down this hillside another 4 feet, which is just a absurd amount of digging. If you've ever watched Survivor, you know that the guys who look really, really fit don't usually win the endurance challenges. It's usually a pretty lean looking farmhand who wins all of the little physical challenges, because this type of work it has a different level of difficulty than just lifting weights at the gym, which I also like doing, but this is I don't know, it hits different. So I think I'm gonna sleep on figuring out how to actually develop this. But you can see here's an overview of the water. I dug out this whole hillside. This is a really nice spot. My gut tells me that this is the best spot because this is where I saw the water during the drought. Then over here, we've got this spot, which I do not think is that good. And then over here, ignore the muddy water. I think this may actually be a really good spot too. So one option is we build some sort of dam and funnel it all down there. But let's see how it clears up in the morning. So today we're developing a rebel base, and we're also going to be finishing digging out the springs and making a really nice little dam. We're going to go for it and build the biggest spring we've ever built. That's our plan for today, right, Max?
Maybe we can help the rebel to make a base on those.
Oh, okay, so we're going to help the rebels make a base under here. That's our plan for today. We're in Star Wars land. Are we in the world of the First Order or the world of Darth Vader?
The world of the
Empire. We're in Darth Vader world.
How will it die? You can make it too fast.
Well, when it's wet, you can make it into shapes. We just gotta clear out some of the rocks. I like that idea, Max.
Yeah.
Gungeons! Hey, Gungeons! Jar Jar!
When do you think Donald will come out of here?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking for the underground city right now. So, Max, you tell me what you think. My vision is to build a dam that goes all the way across. Would that be cool? Yeah?
God!
Yeah. Alright, bud. I have a chance in the way this spring is gonna fly.
Have you broke it?
Did I break it? I broke it another day, but it seems to be holding. I think only the plastic broke. So I got a call last night from our friend Mike, who's helping us build our house. And he has a friend with a crane who's apparently gonna be in town this weekend. And he's willing to help us assemble our house tomorrow. So today is the last day I get to work on this spring project. And what I'm thinking is I'm gonna dig it all out now, get the spring running properly, and then we can come back in July or August, whenever it's like really, really dry, and see how the water's flowing. Because I think this spring right here that we're developing right now has the potential to be the best spring on our entire mountain. Yeah, let's dig it out today, remove all of this inner part, get all of the water to flow down the center, get a pipe in there. So I'm gonna put the drone up in the air so you can see how the water's flowing. There's basically 3 main springs that I've uncovered in this dig. And because the soil underneath is clay, it's like really, really hard clay, you can actually dig little trenches with the pickaxe and direct the water exactly where you want it to go. And that's what I've done. It's very, very simple, extremely exhausting digging, but I've got it kind of the way I want it now. And the next step in the process will be to put the pipe in place and then to close up the dam so that all of the water flows only through the pipe. And this way, all of that soil around there should start to dry up over the course of the next couple days. And yeah, we can also take a measurement of the flow rate and see how much water we're getting, because that would be fun to know. So everything is flowing the way it should be flowing. This is as far as I'm going to take this actual build. I think the clay, as the sediment sinks to the bottom, will do a good enough job of stopping the water from flowing anywhere else. So what I want to do next is test the flow rate. And I feel like the number is going to be a little bit inflated because it's March, the snow melted, and the original spring is flowing more than it usually does. So what I'm really interested in is how the flow rate of the new spring compares to the original spring. And I feel like that will give us a better idea of how good this spring actually is. All right, this is 64 ounces. Let's see how long the original spring takes. Nine seconds. So that's 9 seconds for 64 ounces. I don't have cell service, so I don't know how to convert that to gallons. All right, this is our new spring. 5 seconds. So almost double the flow rate. Wow. Let's do one more just to be sure. Yep, 5 seconds. Almost double the flow rate. So we don't really know exactly how that will pan out as the season changes, but as of right now, double is pretty good, baby. Double is pretty good. So that definitely makes this project worth it. I'm keeping my expectations a little lower than I used to in the past because springs change over time on the season, and some of this flow might be seasonal, whereas the original spring I know is rock solid. So if we're lucky, this will be a life-changing amount of water, and it's gonna make the next part of this process way easier. So the next step in this process would be to install a ram pump, which is a really cool type of pump that doesn't require electricity and can pump this water uphill. That's why flow rate matters. That's why elevation matters. So this is the highest spring I've found so far on our mountain, this section of springs over here. And I'm hoping that we can get this water all the way up the mountain to our house site. That's my dream. I hope you enjoyed this video, and a big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. I recently built a free download page for a shepherd's pie recipe from our cookbook batch. As someone who builds a lot of custom stuff, I can really appreciate a good, easy to use kit. Squarespace has always been known for their awesome templates, but what I like most about them is really how quick they are to customize a little. So you can build pages really fast, but also keep that clean, modern look. I can grab a classic image gallery and then adjust the spacing a little, go back and forth with a couple design ideas, and ultimately end up on a page that's simple and easy to use in a matter of minutes. For something like a quick little download link, it's important to be able to build that myself instantly and keep the projects moving. And when you want something more in-depth, they've got all the tools you need to build massive layouts as well. If you're ready to create something of your own, head to squarespace.com/wildweroam for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code WILDWEROAM for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.